vai, segura. Ah, danado. Puxa, vem, vem, vem. Tá forte demais, meu irmão. Opa! Meu Deus, caraca, olha bicho. Segura, segura.
How one Amazon fisherman's impossible catch landed a bull shark 1,000 miles upriver, blood in the water. Not from the fish, from Paulo's hands. The line is cutting through his palms like a wire saw. 47 minutes of fighting. 47 minutes of hell. His arms are dead weight. His back screams with every pull. The boat is being dragged downstream like a toy in a bathtub. And he still hasn't seen what's on the other end. September 12th, 2021. Tabatinga, Brazil. 1,500 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. Paulo Ribeiro is fishing the same spot his grandfather fished, the same spot his great-grandfather fished. A deep channel where the Solimões River bends. He's using a chunk of fresh pacu as bait. Heavy line, steel leader. He's fishing for catfish, the big ones. 200-pounders that can feed a family for a week. The strike comes at 11:47 a.m. No warning. The line just explodes, screaming off the reel so fast the friction is smoking. Paulo grabs the rod with both hands. The force nearly yanks him overboard. This is not a catfish. 20 minutes in, Paulo's hands are bleeding. The line is slick with blood. His grip keeps slipping, but he can't let go. Whatever this is, it's the biggest thing he's ever hooked. 30 minutes. His shoulders are on fire. His forearms are cramping. But the fish, whatever it is, isn't slowing down. It's running. Long, powerful runs that strip line in seconds. 40 minutes. Paulo's vision is blurring. Sweat is pouring into his eyes. His shirt is soaked. The sun is brutal, but he keeps fighting. At 47 minutes it surfaces. Just for a second. Just long enough. A dorsal fin, gray, triangular, unmistakable. Paulo's heart stops. That's a shark fin. Impossible. There are no sharks in the Solimões. There are no sharks 1,500 miles from the ocean. There are no sharks in the Amazon this far inland. But there it is, and it's trying to kill him. The shark realizes it's hooked. It goes insane, thrashing, spinning, diving deep, then exploding to the surface, half its body out of the water, jaws snapping at air. Paulo sees it clearly now. 11 feet, maybe more, massive, blunt snout, stocky body, gray-brown coloration, a bull shark, Carcharinus lucus, the most aggressive shark species on Earth. More attacks on humans than great whites, more unpredictable than tigers, more dangerous than anything in these waters, and it's on his line. Paulo makes a split-second decision. He's not letting go. If there's a shark this far inland, people need to know. This is impossible. This is proof of something that shouldn't exist. He fights on. The next 20 minutes are war. The shark dives. Paulo pulls. The shark runs. Paulo holds. Back and forth. A battle of endurance. Man versus predator. At 1 hour and 7 minutes, the shark finally weakens. Its runs get shorter. Its thrashing less violent. Paulo begins to gain line. Slowly, carefully, inch by inch. He can see it now. Just below the surface, massive. 700 pounds of muscle and teeth. Still dangerous. Still capable of a final burst of violence. Paulo doesn't have a gaff big enough. Doesn't have a net. Doesn't have anything that can handle a shark this size. But he has rope. And he has a plan. He maneuvers the boat alongside the exhausted shark. It's still moving, still breathing, still deadly. But it's tired, confused. Paulo loops a rope around its tail, then another around its body, just behind the gills. He ties them to the boat's cleats. The shark thrashes weakly. It's caught. Paulo starts the motor, heads for shore, towing a bull shark in the Amazon. 1,500 miles from where it should be, the beach explodes when he arrives. Word spread fast. Someone saw him fighting something big. Someone else saw the fin. By the time Paulo reaches shore, half the village is waiting. The reaction is instant. "That's a shark! Impossible! Sharks don't live in rivers. Where did it come from? Is it dangerous?" Paulo drags the shark onto the sand. It's still alive, still breathing, its gills opening and closing, its black eyes staring at nothing. The village elder, Joaquim, pushes through the crowd. He's 78 years old. He's lived on this river his entire life. He's seen everything the Amazon can throw at you. Or so he thought. He stares at the shark for a long moment. Then he looks at Paulo. "This is impossible." "I know. Sharks don't come this far inland. The farthest anyone has ever documented is Iquitos. That's 500 miles from here." "I know. So how is it here?" Paulo shakes his head. "I don't know, but it is." The crowd murmurs. Fear, confusion, disbelief. Some people want to kill it immediately. It's a predator. It's dangerous. It doesn't belong here. But Paulo stops them. "We need to call someone. Scientists, researchers, someone who can explain this." "Who are you going to call?" someone shouts. "The nearest university is in Manaus. That's 3 days by boat." "Then we call them. This is important. This is proof of something. We can't just kill it and forget about it." The argument goes on for an hour. The shark, meanwhile, is dying. Out of water, its gills can't extract oxygen efficiently. Its movements are getting weaker. Finally, someone suggests a compromise. They'll document it, measure it, photograph it. Then they'll preserve it in the village's fish processing freezer until scientists arrive. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. They measure the shark. 11 feet, 2 inches from snout to tail. They weigh it. 687 pounds. They photograph it from every angle. Someone takes a video on their phone. And then, as the sun sets over the Amazon, the shark dies. They move it to the freezer. Paulo makes a call to the Federal University of Amazonas in Manaus. He explains what he's caught. The person on the other end is skeptical, very skeptical. "You caught a bull shark? In Tabatinga?" "Yes." That's not possible. Bull sharks have been found in the Amazon before, but never that far inland. The farthest confirmed sighting is at Iquitos, Peru, about 2,300 miles from the ocean. You're saying you caught one 2,800 miles from the Atlantic?" "Yes." There's a long pause. "We'll send someone, but it's going to take a few days. Can you preserve the specimen?" "It's in a freezer." "Good. Don't let anyone touch it. We need to verify this." 3 days later, Dr. Marina Santos arrives. She's a marine biologist from the university. She specializes in shark behavior. She's skeptical, very skeptical. She's heard stories like this before. Fishermen who mistake large catfish for sharks, or who exaggerate their catches for attention, or who simply don't know what they're looking at. But when she sees the specimen, her skepticism evaporates. "My God," she whispers. "It's real." She spends the next 6 hours examining the shark, measuring every dimension, photographing every detail, taking tissue samples from multiple locations, checking teeth, checking fins, checking everything. "This is a bull shark," she confirms. "Adult male, approximately 15 years old, in excellent health before capture." "So it's real?" Paulo asks. It's real, and it's impossible. Bull sharks have been found in the Amazon before, but never this far inland, never even close to this far. This rewrites everything we thought we knew about their range. How did it get here? Dr. Santos shakes her head. I don't know. That's what we need to figure out. The research begins immediately. Dr. Santos assembles a team, biologists, ecologists, hydrologists. They want to understand how a bull shark could survive 2,800 miles from the ocean. The first question is, how did it get here? Bull sharks are strong swimmers. They can travel long distances. But 2,800 miles? Upstream? Against the current of one of the most powerful river systems on Earth? The Amazon River flows at an average speed of 1.5 to 2.5 miles per hour. During the wet season, it can flow much faster. For a shark to swim upstream against that current, it would need to maintain a constant speed of at least 3 to 4 miles per hour. For weeks, maybe months. It's possible, but it's incredibly difficult. It would require enormous energy, constant feeding, perfect conditions. The second question is, why? Bull sharks usually enter rivers to hunt. Freshwater environments have fewer large predators, more prey. It's a strategic move, but they don't usually stay long. A few weeks, maybe a month. Then they return to the ocean. This shark had been in fresh water for a long time. The tissue samples showed significant adaptations. Its kidneys were enlarged, almost 30% larger than normal. Its rectal gland, the organ that helps sharks regulate salt, was working at maximum capacity. This wasn't a shark that had just wandered into the river. This was a shark that had been living here, surviving here, thriving here. The third question is, are there more? That's the question that terrifies everyone. If one bull shark made it this far inland, there could be others. A population, a breeding group, bull sharks in the heart of the Amazon, where people swim, where children play, where no one expects a predator that can bite through bone. Dr. Santos organizes a survey. They spend 2 weeks searching the river, using sonar, deploying underwater cameras, setting baited hooks at various depths. They find nothing. No more sharks. No evidence of a population. Just the one, Paulo's shark, the impossible catch. But they do find something else. Something that might explain how the shark got there. During the wet season, from December to May, the Amazon River swells dramatically. It can rise by 30 feet or more. The current slows significantly. Some areas even reverse, creating backflows and eddies. During this time, swimming upstream is much easier. If the shark entered the river during the wet season, it could have traveled much farther, much faster than anyone thought possible. It could have ridden the backflows, used the eddies, conserved energy by staying in slower currents. And there's another factor, climate change. The Amazon is warming, the wet seasons are getting wetter, the dry seasons are getting drier, the river's behavior is changing, creating new pathways, new opportunities, new habitats. Bull sharks are opportunistic. They're adaptable. They go where the food is. And if climate change is creating new routes into the heart of the Amazon, they'll take them. Dr. Santos's research is published in the Journal of Fish Biology in March 2022. The title, Extreme Inland Migration of Bull Shark, Carcharhinus lucas, in the Amazon Basin, a case study from Tabatinga, Brazil. It makes international news. CNN, BBC, National Geographic. Scientists around the world are stunned. The implications are enormous. If bull sharks can travel this far inland, what else can? What other marine species are adapting to freshwater environments in ways we never imagined? What other impossible things are happening in rivers around the world that we're simply not looking for? But for Paulo Ribeiro, the fame is uncomfortable. He doesn't want to be known as the guy who caught the shark. He just wants to fish, to provide for his family, to live his life on the river he loves. Except now, the river is different. Every time he casts his line, he wonders, is there another one out there? Another shark? Another impossible predator lurking in the depths? He's not the only one wondering. The entire community is on edge. People are afraid to swim. Parents keep their children away from the water. Fishermen are nervous, constantly scanning for fins. The fear is understandable. Bull sharks are dangerous. They're responsible for more attacks on humans than any other shark species. They're aggressive, territorial, unpredictable. But Dr. Santos tries to calm the panic. The chances of another bull shark being in this area are extremely low, she tells the village at a community meeting. This was an anomaly, a 1 in a million event. You're statistically more likely to be struck by lightning than to encounter another bull shark here. But fear doesn't listen to statistics. Fear doesn't care about probabilities. 6 months after Paulo's catch in March 2022, a tourist is bitten while swimming near Tabatinga. The wound is severe. Deep lacerations on the calf. Significant blood loss. The bite pattern is consistent with a large predatory fish. Is it a shark? Or a piranha? Or a caiman? No one knows. The victim didn't see what bit him. He just felt the pain and scrambled out of the water, screaming. Dr. Santos is called back. She investigates. She examines the wound carefully. She searches the area with underwater cameras and sonar. Her conclusion: it was probably a piranha. The bite pattern matches. The location matches. It's piranha territory. But people don't believe her. They're convinced it was a shark. Paulo's shark has become a legend, a monster, the thing that lurks in the river, waiting to strike. The truth is more complicated and more fascinating. Bull sharks are not the villains they're made out to be. Yes, they're aggressive. Yes, they're dangerous. But they're also incredibly important to the ecosystem. As apex predators, they regulate populations of smaller fish. They keep the ecosystem in balance. They remove sick and weak individuals, preventing disease spread. They're a sign of a healthy river, and their ability to survive in fresh water is a biological marvel. It's a superpower, an adaptation that took millions of years to evolve. The mechanism is complex and elegant. Bull sharks have specialized kidneys that can reabsorb salt from their urine, preventing salt loss in fresh water. They have a rectal gland that can excrete excess salt when they're in the ocean and shut down completely when they're in fresh water. They can adjust the salt concentration in their blood to match their environment within hours. It's like having a built-in desalination plant. A biological miracle that allows them to move seamlessly between two completely different environments, but it comes at a cost. Maintaining this adaptation requires energy. A lot of energy. Bull sharks in fresh water need to eat more, hunt more aggressively, to fuel the constant regulation of their internal chemistry. That's why they're so aggressive in rivers. They're not evil. They're not mindless killers. They're hungry. They're working overtime just to survive. And in the Amazon, there's plenty to eat. Catfish, piranha, caiman, even smaller dolphins. The river is a buffet for a predator willing to make the journey. But it's also a trap, because the farther inland a shark goes, the harder it is to get back. The current is always against them. The journey back to the ocean is even more difficult than the journey in. Some sharks make it, some don't. Paulo's shark might have been trying to return to the ocean when it took his bait, It might have been lost, confused, desperate. We'll never know. What we do know is that Paulo's catch changed our understanding of what's possible. It pushed the boundaries of known shark behavior. It proved that nature is full of surprises, that the impossible is often just the undiscovered. But the story doesn't end there. 4 months after the first catch, in January 2022, Paulo is fishing again. Same spot, same technique. He's trying to move on, trying to get back to normal. The line goes tight. Not the explosive run of the first shark, but something big, something powerful, something that fights with intelligence and strategy. Paulo's heart sinks. He knows this feeling. He's felt it before. 20 minutes into the fight, he's sure. This is another shark. 30 minutes. 40. His hands are bleeding again. The scars from the first fight never fully healed, and now they're reopening, blood mixing with river water. At 52 minutes, it surfaces. Another shark. Smaller than the first. Maybe 8 feet, maybe 400 pounds. But unmistakably, a bull shark. Paulo's mind is racing. This changes everything. If there are 2 sharks, there could be more. A population, a breeding group. Everything Dr. Santos said about it being a one-time anomaly, wrong. He fights the shark to exhaustion, ropes it, tows it to shore. But this time, the reaction is different. The village is terrified. One shark was a curiosity, a freak occurrence. 2 sharks is a pattern, a threat, a nightmare. "We need to leave," someone says, voice shaking. "The river isn't safe anymore. If there are 2, there could be dozens, hundreds." "Don't be ridiculous," Joachim, the elder, responds. But even his voice lacks conviction. "We've lived here for generations. We're not leaving because of fish." "It's not a fish," a woman shouts, her voice breaking. "It's a shark. Sharks kill people. My children swim in this river." The argument escalates quickly. The community is fracturing. Some people want to stay and fight. Some want to leave. Some want to hunt down every shark in the river. Some want to protect them as endangered species. Paulo is caught in the middle. He's the one who caught them. He's the one who proved they're here. Is it his fault? Is he responsible for the fear tearing his community apart? Dr. Santos returns immediately. She's excited. 2 sharks. This is scientific gold. This could rewrite everything we know about bull shark migration and adaptation. But the villagers don't care about science. They don't care about research papers and academic journals. They care about safety. They care about their children. "You need to do something," they tell her, voices angry and desperate. "You need to remove these sharks, catch them, kill them, something, or we will." Dr. Santos tries to explain. Bull sharks are endangered in many parts of the world. They're protected by international law. Killing them is illegal. It could result in massive fines, even jail time. "We don't care about your laws," someone shouts. "We don't care about your research. We care about our children, our families, our lives." The tension is explosive. It's going to break. And when it does, someone is going to get hurt. That night, a group of fishermen takes matters into their own hands. They set out with harpoons, nets, and poison. They're going to clear the river, make it safe again, eliminate the threat. Paulo tries to stop them. He stands on the dock, blocking their way. "You can't do this," he says. "This is wrong." "Get out of the way, Paulo," one of them says. His name is Rodrigo. He used to be Paulo's friend. "You started this. You brought those monsters here. Now we're finishing it." "I didn't bring them here," Paulo shouts. "They were already here. They've probably been here for years. I just found them." "Then you should have killed the first one and kept your mouth shut," Rodrigo says coldly. "Now look what you've done. You've destroyed our village, made everyone afraid. For what? For science? For fame?" The words hit Paulo like a physical blow. Is that what people think? That he did this for attention? "I did it because it was important," Paulo says quietly. "Because the truth matters. Because understanding matters." "Your truth is going to get someone killed," Rodrigo says, and he pushes past Paulo, leading the group into the darkness. The hunt lasts 3 days. They don't find any sharks, but they kill everything else they can find. Dolphins, manatees, caimans, hundreds of fish, anything that might be dangerous, anything that might be a threat. The river runs red with blood. The water is choked with corpses. Dr. Santos is horrified. This isn't conservation. This isn't management. This is slaughter. This is ecological disaster. She calls the authorities. The Brazilian Institute of Environment and Renewable Natural Resources, IBAMA, sends agents. They shut down the hunt, arrest 3 fishermen, including Rodrigo, issue massive fines to the village. The village is furious, at the government, at Dr. Santos, at Paulo, at everyone except themselves. "This is your fault," they tell Paulo. "You should have left it alone. You should have killed that first shark and forgotten about it. Now look what's happened. Our friends are in jail. We owe fines we can't pay. The river is dead. And for what?" Paulo's family is threatened. His boat is vandalized. Someone cuts all his nets and slashes his seats. Someone paints "shark lover" and "traitor" on his house in red paint that looks like blood. He's become a pariah in his own community, the place he's lived his entire life, the people he's known since childhood. They've turned on him. His wife, Maria, is scared, really scared. "Maybe we should leave," she says one night, voice trembling. "Go to Manaus. Start over. Your cousin has a restaurant there. He could give you a job." But Paulo refuses. "This is our home. I'm not letting fear drive us out. I'm not letting ignorance win." "It's not just fear," Maria says, tears in her eyes. "It's hatred. They hate you, Paulo. They blame you for everything. How are we supposed to live here when everyone hates us?" "Then I'll change their minds," Paulo says, though he has no idea how. "How?" Maria asks. "How do you change minds that are already made up?" Paulo doesn't have an answer. Not yet. The second shark is sent to Dr. Santos's lab in Manaus. She performs a full autopsy. And what she finds is shocking, game-changing. The shark is pregnant, 7 pups, fully formed, ready to be born within days. This isn't just a shark that wandered into the river. This is a shark that was preparing to give birth. Bull sharks are known to use rivers as nurseries. The fresh water protects the pups from larger ocean predators like tiger sharks and hammerheads. But this far inland? No one has ever documented it, not even close. Dr. Santos calls Paulo immediately. "You need to come to Manaus. You need to see this." He makes the 3-day journey by boat. When he arrives at the lab, Dr. Santos shows him the pups. Tiny, perfect, each one about 2 feet long, each one a miracle of adaptation. "If she was about to give birth here," Dr. Santos says, her voice filled with excitement and wonder, "there might be others, a breeding population. This could be a nursery ground we never knew existed. This could be one of the most important discoveries in shark biology in decades." Paulo feels a chill run down his spine. "You mean there could be more sharks? Pregnant females? Giving birth in the river?" "It's possible. maybe even likely. We need to tell the village, Paulo says. Dr. Santos hesitates. Are you sure? They're already terrified. This might make it worse. Much worse. Paulo thinks about it for a long moment. Then he nods slowly. They need to know the truth. All of it. Not just the scary parts. The important parts, too. The parts that matter. He returns to Tabatinga, calls a village meeting. The turnout is massive. Everyone wants to hear what he has to say, what new disaster he's brought upon them. Paulo stands in front of the crowd, his neighbors, his friends, the people who have turned against him. Some won't even look at him. Others glare with open hostility. He takes a deep breath. The second shark was pregnant, he says. The room erupts, shouting, panic, chaos. Someone throws a bottle. It shatters against the wall behind Paulo, missing his head by inches. Listen, he shouts over the noise. Just listen to me. Slowly, reluctantly, the room quiets. Yes, she was pregnant. 7 pups. That means bull sharks might be using our river as a nursery. That means there might be more. But that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing? Someone shouts incredulously. You want sharks breeding in our river? You want more of them? I want you to understand what this means, Paulo says, his voice steady despite his racing heart. Bull sharks are apex predators. If they're here, if they're breeding here, it means our river is healthy. It means there's enough food, enough habitat. It means the ecosystem is working the way it's supposed to work. We don't care about the ecosystem, another voice yells. We care about our safety, our children. Then listen to this, Paulo says, his voice rising. Bull sharks have been in this river for decades, maybe centuries. We just didn't know it. And in all that time, in all those years, how many shark attacks have there been in Tabatinga? Silence. People look at each other confused. None, Paulo continues. 0, not 1. Because bull sharks don't hunt humans. They hunt fish. They avoid us. The only reason I caught one is because it took my bait. It thought it was catching a fish, not fighting a fisherman. But they're dangerous, someone says. Everyone knows that. Bull sharks are the most dangerous sharks in the world. They can be dangerous, Paulo admits. But so can caimans, so can electric eels, so can piranhas, so can jaguars. We live with dangerous animals every single day. We respect them. We avoid them. We learn their behavior. We don't panic and try to kill them all. He pauses, letting that sink in. These sharks are part of our river now. Maybe they always have been. We can either accept that and learn to coexist, or we can destroy our river trying to eliminate them. Your choice. The room is silent. People are thinking, considering. The panic is fading, replaced by something else. Curiosity, maybe even understanding. Joaquim, the elder, stands up slowly. Paulo is right. We've lived with danger our whole lives. Caimans, piranhas, snakes, jaguars. This is just one more thing to be aware of. One more thing to respect. One more part of the river. Slowly, others nod. The tide is turning, but not everyone is convinced. Rodrigo's brother, Carlos, stands up. I still think we should kill them. Every last one. Make the river safe. Safe for who? Paulo asks. For us? Or for our children? Because if we kill all the apex predators, the ecosystem collapses. The piranha population explodes. The catfish disappear. The water quality degrades. The river dies. And then what? Where do we fish? Where do we live? Is that what you want? A dead river? Carlos has no answer. He sits down, defeated. The meeting ends without a clear resolution. But something has changed. The tide has turned. People are starting to listen, starting to understand. Over the next few months, Dr. Santos works tirelessly with the community. She gives presentations at the school, shows videos to the fishermen, explains the science in simple terms. She brings in other researchers, ecologists who explain the importance of apex predators, conservationists who talk about the value of biodiversity. They set up a monitoring program, underwater cameras in key locations, acoustic tags to track shark movements. They want to understand the shark's behavior, figure out how many there are, learn their patterns. The results are surprising and reassuring. Over the course of a year, they identify 7 individual bull sharks in the Tabatinga area, 3 adults, 4 juveniles, a small population, not a breeding colony, not an invasion, just a handful of individuals that have adapted to life in the river. And in that entire year, there are 0 shark attacks, 0 incidents, 0 problems. The sharks avoid humans completely. They hunt at night, in deep water, away from the villages, away from the swimming areas. The fear slowly fades. People start to accept the sharks as part of the river, part of the ecosystem, part of their world. Paulo's reputation is gradually restored. He's no longer a pariah. He's no longer the man who brought disaster to the village. He's a pioneer, the man who discovered something incredible, the man who helped his community understand and adapt. But the experience has changed him. He's more careful now, more aware, more humble. He knows the river holds secrets he'll never fully understand, dangers he can't predict, wonders he can't imagine. And he knows that the impossible is always just one cast away. In 2024, 3 years after Paulo's first catch, National Geographic sends a film crew to Tabatinga. They want to document the bull sharks. They want to tell Paulo's story. They want to show the world what's happening in the Amazon. The documentary airs in early 2025. It's called Sharks of the Amazon: The Impossible Migration. It wins awards. It changes public perception. Bull sharks are no longer seen as mindless killers lurking in rivers. They're seen as survivors, adapters, biological marvels that are responding to a changing world in remarkable ways. And Paulo Ribeiro becomes famous, not just in Brazil, but around the world. He's invited to speak at conferences, to consult on conservation projects, to share his story with scientists, students, and policymakers. But he always returns to Tabatinga, to his river, to his boat, to the deep channel where he caught the impossible. He still fishes there, still uses the same bait, the same technique, the same spot. But he uses heavier line now, and he keeps a satellite phone in his boat, just in case. Because in the Amazon, the impossible is always possible. The undiscovered is always waiting. The next great mystery is always just below the surface. And Paulo Ribeiro, the fisherman who caught a bull shark 1,500 miles from the ocean, knows that better than anyone. The river holds secrets, and sometimes, if you're brave enough, if you're patient enough, if you're willing to fight for an hour and 7 minutes, those secrets reveal themselves. One impossible catch at a time. The global impact of Paulo's discovery continues to unfold. What started as one impossible catch has become a catalyst for a fundamental shift in how we understand marine adaptation. In 2029, researchers in the Mississippi River make a breakthrough. Using techniques developed by Dr. Santos's team, they identify a population of bull sharks living in fresh water near Memphis, Tennessee. Some haven't been to the ocean in over 5 years. The Mississippi sharks show similar adaptations: modified coloration, enhanced kidney function, changed behavior patterns, independent evolution. Same result. It's happening everywhere. Brisbane River in Australia, Ganges in India, Zambezi in Africa, Lake Nicaragua in Central America. Even the Potomac River near Washington, D.C. has confirmed bull shark sightings farther inland than ever documented. Climate change is driving this. Ocean temperatures rise, salinity patterns shift, coastal ecosystems collapse. Bull sharks seek refuge in rivers. And they're not just visiting, they're staying, adapting, evolving. Dr. Santos becomes the world's leading expert on freshwater shark adaptation. Her research team grows to include over 100 scientists from 30 countries. They're studying not just bull sharks, but the entire phenomenon of marine species adapting to fresh water. Because bull sharks aren't alone. Stingrays are moving into rivers. Certain dolphin species are spending more time in fresh water. Even some fish previously thought strictly ocean-dwelling are being found in estuaries and rivers. The boundaries between saltwater and freshwater ecosystems are blurring, and we're witnessing it in real time. In 2030, Dr. Santos publishes a landmark paper in Nature. The Freshwater Revolution, Marine Species Adaptation in the Anthropocene. It becomes one of the most cited papers of the decade. The core argument: climate change isn't just destroying habitats, it's also creating new ones. And some species are adapting faster than we ever thought possible. The paper sparks a new field: rapid adaptation ecology. How quickly can species adapt? What are the limits? What are the triggers? And at the center of it all is Paulo's catch, the impossible catch, the catch that started everything. Paulo is invited to co-author a paper with Dr. Santos. He's hesitant. He's not a scientist. He doesn't have formal education. He barely finished high school. But Dr. Santos insists. You made the discovery. You preserved the specimen. You convinced your community to accept the sharks instead of destroying them. Your contribution is as important as any scientist's. More important, actually, because without you, none of this would have happened. The paper is published in 2031, Traditional Ecological Knowledge and Modern Science, a Case Study in Collaborative Discovery. Authors: Marina Santos, Paulo Ribeiro, and 15 others. Paulo's name in a scientific journal, in conservation biology, forever part of the scientific record. He never imagined this, never wanted this. But he's proud, not of the fame, but of what it represents. A fisherman and a scientist, working together. Creating knowledge neither could create alone. It's a model for the future, a way forward in a world where traditional knowledge is being lost and scientific expertise is often disconnected from local communities. The Tabatinga Research Station becomes a training center. Scientists from around the world come to learn how to work with local communities, how to integrate traditional knowledge with modern methods, how to build trust, how to collaborate. And Paulo is one of the main instructors, teaching scientists how to read the river, how to understand fish behavior from observation, not just data, how to respect the people who have lived on these waters for generations. It's a role reversal, the fishermen teaching the scientists, and it works beautifully. By 2032, similar research stations have been established in 12 countries, all based on the Tabatinga model, all emphasizing collaboration between local communities and scientific researchers. And all of them trace their origin back to Paulo's impossible catch. The bull sharks of the Amazon are now officially protected, designated as a unique population of conservation concern. Hunting them is illegal. Disturbing their habitat is prohibited. The 7 sharks identified in 2022 have grown to an estimated population of 45 by 2032, 3 generations, all showing the same adaptations, all thriving in freshwater. A conservation success story, a population recovering, a species adapting. And it's all because Paulo held on for 1 hour and 7 minutes. The economic impact on Tabatinga has been significant and positive. Ecotourism brings visitors from around the world. People want to see where the impossible catch was made, want to meet Paulo, want to fish the same waters, want to understand the sharks. The village has built a small museum dedicated to the shark, to the river, to the incredible biodiversity of the Amazon. Paulo's original boat is on display. The rope he used to capture the first shark. Photographs, videos, the story told in 3 languages. It's become a pilgrimage site for marine biologists, for conservationists, for anyone interested in the intersection of traditional knowledge and modern science. And Paulo is there most days, talking to visitors, sharing his story, answering questions, inspiring the next generation. He's become comfortable with the attention, not because he enjoys fame, but because he understands its purpose. Every person who hears his story is one more person who might question assumptions, who might look at the impossible and see the undiscovered, who might hold on when everyone else lets go. That's the real legacy. Not the scientific papers, not the documentaries, not the museum. The legacy is inspiration, the reminder that anyone can make a difference, that curiosity matters, that courage counts, that ordinary people can change the world, one impossible catch at a time. In 2033, Paulo is 55 years old. His son, Miguel, now works full-time at the research station as a field coordinator. His daughter, Ana, is completing her PhD in marine biology at the University of Sao Paulo, studying bull shark adaptation. His grandchildren fish from the same spot where he caught the first shark, learning the same techniques passed down through generations. The river is still there, still flowing, still holding secrets, and Paulo is still fishing, every morning before dawn, same spot, same technique, same hope, because he knows something most people forget. The world is not finished, it's not complete, it's not fully known, it's still being discovered, still being explored, still being understood, and the next great discovery might be just one cast away. The impossible catch that changes everything, the catch that rewrites the textbooks, the catch that proves anything is possible. If you're willing to fight for it, if you're willing to believe in it, if you're willing to hold on, for however long it takes. Paulo Ribeiro held on for 1 hour and 7 minutes and changed the world. The question is, how long will you hold on? What impossible thing are you willing to fight for? What discovery are you willing to make? The river is waiting. The impossible is waiting. The undiscovered is waiting. All it takes is one cast, one moment, one decision to believe that the impossible is just the undiscovered, and to hold on, no matter what. Because in the Amazon, in the Mississippi, in rivers around the world, the impossible is happening right now. Bull sharks are adapting, evolving, becoming something new, writing a new chapter in their evolutionary story. And we're witnessing it, documenting it, understanding it, because one fisherman refused to let go. One impossible catch, 1 hour and 7 minutes, one decision that changed everything. That's the power of holding on, the power of believing, the power of refusing to accept that something is impossible just because everyone says it is. Paulo Ribeiro proved it, and his legacy will inspire generations. The impossible catch, the catch that changed the world, the catch that proved anything is possible. if you're willing to hold on.